To Number Cruncher. This is lab 4.4. In this lab, we're going to practice processing lists. This time, we're going to use numbers instead of words. So for number one, write a custom snap reporter block, so it's a reporter block, called sum, that takes a list of an argument and reports the sum of the numbers. Okay, we can do that. So let's go over to our trusty snap tool area, and we're going to make a reporter block. So it says make a block called sum, and you need to click on reporter. Okay. Now, over in variables, we need to make 3 variables. First, we need to make a sum variable that will report the sum. We need to make a numbers variable for our list. And then let's make a counter variable because we're going to eventually put a loop in there. Okay, now I have my 3 handy dandy variables. And so first I want to make my list. So bring over list, and let's bring it over. Okay, here we go. And so let's make a few numbers. Let's try making about 7 different numbers. Put a negative number in there. And 0. Okay. And now I want to assign this list to my numbers. So the way to do that, you bring over set, and I want to set numbers to this list. Good. Now I have my list, and I want to add all these numbers in my sum block. So the way to do that, I have to get the item of each list first, right? So let's set the sum equal to 0 to start. I should really restart my computer. This is going to be ugly. All right, so I set sum equal to 0, and I want to set counter equal to 0 because I'm going to need a counter. All right, good. So now, anytime you have a counter, you typically want a loop, or anytime you want a loop, you want a counter. So let's repeat until. Bring that over here. And I'm going to repeat the counter. So the counter is to be on a different item of the list each time, right? And I want to keep counting up until I hit the length of the whole list. So in order to find the length of the list, there's a block called length of. So we'll bring that over here. We're going to need an operator of equal to, and we're going to need our variables. So I want to repeat until the counter is equal to the length of, let me pause. All right, actually see that I put these in the wrong place, so let's put that, it's repeat until. Yes, and the counter is equal to the length of the list. What list is this? Oh, it's called numbers. Good. And now, what am I repeating? I want to add each one of these item numbers up. So I want the sum, which is going to be the sum, and I want that to be equal to the sum. So I want to set sum each time. Drag it over. So we want to set the sum equal to, let's bring an operator over. I want the sum to be equal to the sum, because right now the sum is 0, so 0 plus whatever my first item or the number of counter it is. So the first item in numbers, in the first case, is going to be whatever counter is. Then every time it goes through the loop, I actually want to change the counter by 1. Change the counter. And I want to set the sum equal to the sum plus each item number. And that's going to actually add them all up. And at the end, I want to report the sum. Now, it's very important that when I actually click this, okay, that you want to click your list. Make sure that shows up. And now I click it, it should say, it says 18. If I add this up, it's a little bit, oh, it's exactly 18. All right. But I think what we're not doing is adding the last number, which means we have to add 1 to this. We want to repeat until the counter is 1 greater than the whole thing. Once we do that, we're done. Put a 1 there and drag it back. Change counter by, what this whole thing is supposed to be. All right, now we're good. So if you click on sum, you will get the sum of all of these numbers. All right, now start working on the second part.